listener. Your mommies aren't here to help you now. For the next 30 minutes of basic comic book training, you belong to me. I'm Drill Sergeant James Philip Guerrero in Toronto. Officer in charge. Take us down. XO. Commence broadcast.
I'm Nick here at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash in Red Bank, New Jersey. And even though our special guest host, Kevin Smith, is standing directly in front of me, he's going to wait for Jamie to deliver her line before he speaks.
I'm Jamie, here in LA, preparing for America's next confrontation. That's right, the good old U.S. government is going to intervene to try to stop USA Network from remaking Joni Loves Chachi. We've got Weird War Tales, Nick Fury, The Unknown Soldier, and...
Me, the aforementioned Kevin Smith, Director of Covert Operations, also the Director of the upcoming Chasing Amy. Welcome to the Anti-Gravity Room. Put that down. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, and this is my 4th appearance on the Anti-Gravity Room. One more appearance, I believe I get a set of steak knives. Put that down.
Weird War Tales and The Unknown Soldier are just 2 titles that are being relaunched by Vertigo. It's all stories we can relate to. I mean, we've all done Black Ops and Wetworks in our spare time. In fact, when I'm not hosting the show, I'm busy trying to topple small-time dictators all over the world.
Weird War Tales is just basically short, weird stories about war. With Weird War Tales and with Unknown Soldier, we've attempted to update the sensibility of the war comic book. I was definitely influenced by the previous incarnations of the old EC war titles, but also other titles like Creepy and Eerie. I love the old EC stories, and I think that if we come within spitting distance of those, that we've done a good job.
Yeah, I think that the war is the backdrop for the story. It wasn't particularly how am I going to show war, but how am I going to show this particular story.
Whereas there were certain stories that are just straight balls to the walls EC horror, in which case certainly the story shaped the war.
It is a backdrop, but because of the fact that you're working with a specific war, you can wind up bringing elements to it.
A lot of us look back on World War II as being, it's called the Great War for a reason. There was a good and there was a bad. There was very little gray area. Obviously, wars since then haven't been that simple. I think that Weird War Tales and Unknown Soldier address that.
I think that there's a lot of room for re-looking at virtually all the wars, and there's much more volume to them than the good side and the bad side.
We're just trying to get people to take a look at conflict, think about it in a different way. Comics are influential, both to children and to adults.
I would find it hard to be a counterintelligence operative in a blinding red, white, and blue costume. But it doesn't seem to have affected Captain America's career. He and Nick Fury are together again. Eugenie fills us in.
What is your name?
Jeff Loeb. Stephen Platt.
And for whom do you work?
Rob Liefeld and Marvel Comics.
Which comic book is it that you create?
Captain America.
Captain America? Tell me more.
Captain America is the living legend of liberty. He dresses in an American flag and wears a shield, which he can throw at anything, and it's completely indestructible. Nick Fury is the quintessential spy. In the world of espionage, there is no one better. He makes James Bond look like a wimp.
What is it about Captain America and Nick Fury that appeals to you?
Captain America's been an icon for 50 years, so you're talking about something that's part of the American consciousness the same way that Superman is and the same way that Batman is. So there's that part of it. I think that from a visual point of view, you're talking about, a walking, flying flag. And Fury is just a cigar-chomping curmudgeon who, as far as he's concerned, considers Cap an overgrown Boy Scout, you know, and will do anything in order to just get a little rise out of him. If he could just once get him to maybe take a slug at him or something like that. But that's not Cap's nature. He'll walk away before he actually decks Fury.
What plans do you have for these two characters?
I don't want to give too much away, but it's got like an X-Files flavor in it, and it's got like it's kind of a Tom Clancy-ness to it, and then it's, you know, it's like the Dirty Dozen meets the X-Files meets Captain America.
What does it feel like to change two American icons?
Well, Nick was dead, so that felt good because he was a great character, and they shouldn't have killed him. So we brought him back, nana foo-foo. And in the case of Cap, I think someone else said to us once that it's a little bit like we got the house and put a new coat of paint on it, but it's still the same house.
Are Hydra, AIM, and Red Skull back as well?
If Captain America is to survive, the Red Skull must survive. And Hydra and AIM are just those terrible, horrible world organizations that go up against S.H.I.E.L.D. whenever they can. So look out, bad guys. The good guys are coming back.
Okay, I'm here with Chris and Andrew of Sloan. Very cool band. Now, guys, are you into comics?
Oh, let me tell you. Well, I like comics fine. I mean, I read the comics every day. I like to keep up with what's going on in the world. I work in Born Loser and all that stuff. But actually, you know, I collected one little series called Stray Toasters, which was, and actually we're from Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is in Canada, and actually the third issue the third issue of this Stray Toasters thing was banned in Canada, so it's kind of a bad one. I don't know if I should be talking about it. And you look like a cartoon.
I know, I am, actually. I'm drawn in. You're talking to nothing right now.
That's right. Am I looking in the right direction? As far as drawn in?
What would you guys cite as your big musical influences?
Kiss is my big musical influence, really, because they're 4 superstars in a group. And in our band, Sloan, we all sing and everybody takes turns. So.
Future plans for Sloan?
Record a year.
Feature-length cartoon. Feature-length cartoon, dolls and likenesses
Beatles had a feature-length cartoon.
Yes, of course.
Yellow Submarine.
Yellow Submarine.
That's right. Did you see that?
Of course.
I think you're lying to me.
I did.
You did not.
Psychedelic cartoon, man. I saw it.
You're only this big, and it's driving me nuts.
Okay. Sloan, awesome band. Check them out. I saw Yellow Submarine. I'm writing a paper about the Beatles for school. I swear to God.
For school and you're 15?
Yes. It's a term paper.
I hate you.
It's odd that a film director with absolutely no connection to the military would be co-hosting this episode.
You know, Nick, what are you talking about? No connection to the military. If Chasing Amy goes into release, the next project I'm doing, Operation Desert Storm. Get it? It's going to feature me, George Wendt, Chris Farley, and Elizabeth Taylor.
All right, this week we're taking a look at 2 Extreme, the extension of Extreme Games for the Sony PlayStation. As I hang off the wall here at Joe Rockhead's gym in Toronto, I will examine this game and tell you why it's better than the first. Remember the first game? You could choose from bike, right, street loose, skateboard, inline skates. You do the same thing with here, except they've added something. Oh yeah, snowboarding. Plus they've added a lot of choices. The courses you can select from are a lot better. The people you can select to use are a lot better. They're way updated. All right, I'm playing easy here, and it's already challenging enough. Okay? Plus there's snowboarding, and with the tricks, remember when in the first Extreme Games you just jump and you'd hope you'd pull like a method air? Well, here they have like these button combinations for every trick. So it's very, very cool. So I have to give this game 5 G's out of 5 because it's everything a sequel to a game should be. All right? Everything's updated, everything's more challenging, and it's a lot more playable. I love it. 2 Extreme, 5 G's out of 5 because it's just layered and layered with improvements. Timebreakers is a new series put out by Helix at DC.
And contrary to popular belief, it is not a series about time-traveling breakdancers. I mean, come on. I've got that idea locked up myself already.
Wise move.
I've been interested in the subject of time travel, in particular time paradoxes, for a very long time. And then when Stuart Moore was launching the Helix line, and he said to me, maybe I'd be interested to do a science fiction story, I immediately thought of time travel and time paradoxes. And then I suddenly came up with this idea of reversing the usual position of time paradoxes and having people who are trying to create paradoxes instead of trying to stop them. Timebreakers is a story about a squad of time travelers who are dealing with paradoxes in history and time loops. And the usual tradition in these kind of stories is that the heroes are trying to prevent paradoxes because paradoxes supposedly will tear the fabric of time and space. And my story turns this on its head, and their mission, the Timebreakers, is to create as many paradoxes as they possibly can. They're opposed by a group called the Knowers, who believe that life is a mistake, and they want the universe to become empty so that souls will be released from what they consider the prison of time. The heroine is a character named Angela Attenborough, called Angel by her friends. And she begins as a rich 1950s, very repressed housewife, married to a very oppressive husband, and ends up as a very heroic figure, solving the mysteries of time. Timebreakers is about finished. There's one more issue that comes out. It's the 5th one. There's some confusion in the numbering in the early issues, but there has always been planned to have 5 issues. And the story will end, of course, with the great paradox and the beginning of life and then an epilogue. And I've left it open, and I'd love to do a sequel to Timebreakers.
Now, Kevin Smith's new movie and a low-budget documentary on trench foot.
Kevin, you got a new movie coming out. Tell me a little about it.
It's this flick we did called Chasing Amy, and it's the 3rd flick in the series we've done so far, and it's basically about a guy who falls in love with a lesbian, and it takes place actually in the world of comics. That's what they do for a living.
I don't know, maybe I should just sign one of those exclusive deals like you guys. Your new book seems to be selling like mad.
Yeah, well, it all goes back to something my grandmother told me when I was a kid. Holden, she said, big bucks are in fart jokes. She was a churchgoer.
Oh, the cry from the heart of a real artist trapped in commercial hell, pitying his good fortune. I'm sure you can dry your eyes on all those fat checks you rake in.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? Did I detect a note of bitter envy in there?
Nope, I'm happy my stuff gets read at all. There's very little market for hearts and flowers in this spandex-clad, big pecs, big guns field. If I sell 2 issues, I feel like John Grisham.
How comics influenced Chasing Amy?
Only in as much as, I mean, that's what they do for a living. Like, it was kind of important to me, like, I'd never seen portrayed on film before people who actually work in the industry. You never see who makes comic books and stuff like that.
Archie and the Riverdale gang were a pure and fun-loving bunch. You can't find dysfunction in those comics. They were just flat-out wholesome.
Archie and Jughead were lovers.
Shut up.
It's true. Archie was and Jughead was the Butch. That's why Jughead wears that crown-looking hat all the time. Be the king of Queen Archie's world.
Now, how about the release date?
March 28th in New York and LA, and then April everywhere else.
Chasing Amy. Check it out.
Go see it.
This just in. Spoon! The life and times of the Tick are featured in a new book by everyone's favorite lethargic lad, Greg Hyland. Watch for it. The biggest question of 1996 is finally answered. Onslaught was Kaiser Soze. Bryan Singer of The Usual Suspects is confirmed to direct the X-Men feature film. Not Too Bright Meat Parker goes to Hollywood. Look out for Bob Fingerman's Otis goes to Hollywood from Dark Horse Comics.
Do not move. Repeat, do not move. We will be back in a few moments. Why am I yelling?
What's up, fellow Mallrats? I'm here with Kevin. We're going to do a little Comicopia thing. First up, we have Code of Honor number 3. Now, this is a very cool Marvel story. It's told from the perspective of a cop, and it takes place around, what was it, like 1977?
It's in the 70s, mid-70s book.
It's very cool. It involves all the Marvel characters. Great drawing. It's kind of an Alex Ross kind of style. I'd have to give it 3 out of 5. Your take?
Code of Honor, I've really been digging on. It's more or less a cop's perspective of all the historic Marvel events, things that have happened over the years, and also his story is actually kind of interesting as well. And the book, yeah, I mean it's not Alex Ross, but it's very well painted. It looks really good. I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Cool. Next up.
Next up, we're going to take a look at Batman: The Long Halloween. Now, this is a book that I've really been digging on. They're doing this 13-issue maxi series, and it takes place from October to October. And it's the writer is Jeff Loeb, the artist is Tim Sale, the guys that have given us the other Batman Halloween specials. It's tremendous. There's a killer named Calendar on the loose. Every issue, there's a major bad villain. Batman is handled in the best way I've seen him handled in the books in quite some time. All the characters are interesting. Tim Sale's artwork is really simple and beautiful. I'd give this book 5. I'd give it 6 out of 5.
6, wow. I really dug this just because, like, the whole bad guy thing is a serial killer. He's not, like, a super villain. And, like, the super villains are there, but, like, the main guy is just, like, a guy. So it's really fun. Yeah, so it's, like, it's the, perspective between, like, a regular guy, Batman, and a regular serial killer. I'd have to give that, like, 4 out of 5 Gs.
Tremendous.
And last, Treasure Chest, number 16. This is kind of a Christian Angle comic that came out back in the 60s, I guess.
Hero Chuck White.
Very fun book. It's, I particularly like, let's see, there's a little tale about monkeys. Monkey bus for Omaha.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's good, wholesome fun. Nobody in spandex, just adventures of real moral Christian type people. They're pretty easy to find. They're not that pricey because they're just not that in demand, I guess. It's a decent book. A kitsch value alone, man. This book, you give it what?
1,000,000 out of 5 Gs because this book, I'll tell you, Kevin, it saved me.
And for those of us that were already saved, this book, how can you pan a book with Jesus on the cover? I'd be terrified. So I give it definitely 1,000,000 on the 5 scale.
Oh, that's it for Comicopia this week.
Marv Wolfman is best known for his DC series Crisis on Infinite Earths and for the Teen Titans. Marv is now working on a new series for DC called Crisis of Infinite Teens. It's an Elseworld story about what would happen if every teenager hit puberty at the same moment.
Hi, I'm Marv Wolfman. I'm a writer. I write comic books and was editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics and senior editor at DC Comics and comics editor of Disney Adventures magazine and created a large number of characters for all the companies.
My favorite character has always been Superman. I love the Golden Age Superman from the 1930s and 40s. In fact, I have a picture from 1942 over my desk from Superman. I get asked about Crisis on Infinite Earths an awful lot. For those who haven't seen Crisis, it was about merging all these multiple Earths that DC Comics had set up all into one Earth so that there weren't 4 versions of every character, that it wasn't confusing to new readers coming in. Dracula is a series that I consider probably the turning point of my career, in that it was the first series when I did it at Marvel Comics that I really learned how to write on. It was the series that I developed my sense of character, pacing, story. Night Force is a series where ordinary people, could be anybody, are recruited by this mysterious character called the Baron to take on situations that are horror stories. With a superhero book, you always know the hero's going to win no matter what. It may take him a little while, but he is going to win. With Night Force, you never know the outcome of the story, and in fact, you never know if Baron Winters, who's the star of it, is going to succeed. The Adventures of the Man Called Axe, it's about a character who appears in the middle of a city called Bedlam in the year 2000, and he finds himself being hunted by the police, by criminals, by everybody in the city. The trouble is he has no idea who he is. The police attack him. At one point, they actually blast his fingers off, and he's standing there, and he's watching his fingers grow back, and he says, "Who am I?" So the Adventures of the Man Called Axe deal with him trying to discover who he is and what his connection is with some mysterious plan that's going to happen on the very last day of the millennium, December 31st, the year 2000.
Mailbag.
This just came in from Comsat iCore.
Mike Priest writes about the depiction of women in comics. People should stop complaining about the disproportionate bodies of women in comics. If you want it, work out. Well, I agree. Our writer's mother has been working out, and look at her.
That's our writer's mother?
Yeah. Manuel Nunez. I live in Mexico City, and I never missed the anti-gravity room. I never thought making a comic was so difficult until I watched your show. Well, Manuel, I'm glad you found the show so educational. And if you think making a plain old comic was hard, wait till you see our episode on making a comic completely naked at 30,000 feet. Now there's a challenge. You can write to us at the Anti-Gravity Room, care of YTV Canada, Station C, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, M6J 3N1, or email to antigravity@ytv.ca. Don't forget to check out our weekly updates on the World Wide Web at www.antigrav.com.
That's it for now. But remember, it's not just a job. It's a job where you wear a lot of gunk on your face.
Me and the boys are going in tomorrow. We may not come back alive.
Yes, well, it's been a pleasure serving with you. There goes one sad, sad little man.
And now, to finish off the show, the 21 paintball salute. Attention! Present credits. See you next time on the Anti-Gravity Room.
Beam aboard the finest collector's outpost in the galaxy for a special all-Star Trek edition of the Sci-Fi Traders Cool Stuff from the Cosmos. Today at 6 p.m. Eastern. And later, Jack Palance stars as Voltan, an evil warrior in search of the ultimate sword of power in Hawk the Slayer. Just one of the astonishing tales you'll witness in the dimension of movie magic. Tonight, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, stay tuned for the Odyssey. SFC Next.